Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Art, Money, Success podcast. I'm your host, Maria Brophy, and we have been talking all week about putting your art on consignment. And I decided to bring my longtime good friend, Erik Abel, on with us today because Erik is a very successful artist and he has a lot of experience with consignment, with galleries and retail stores. So I asked him to share some of his wisdom and welcome, Erik. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you, Maria, for having me on.
And you are in Ashland, Oregon still, right?
Yep. We moved back here a couple of years ago, right before the COVID hit, and things are getting back to normal. And I went to college here. My wife's from here, but man, I must miss being right on the beach. So.
Yeah, I would imagine you would because the ocean's your life. Well,
Yeah,
just
I'm losing my mind basically, but there's
yeah,
other things. I mean, snowboarding's close and mountain biking's great here, and it makes going to the beach all that much better.
Yeah. Well, so for my listeners who do not know who Erik Abel is, and that's Erik with a K, Abel. The thing I love about you, Erik, is that you are the epitome of someone who has created a life doing everything you wanted to do. And of course, your lifestyle is very similar to the lifestyle that Drew and I created. When I was on your website, abelarts.com, I was reading your about page and I already knew a lot about you, but I went on there this morning and there were so many things on there that I didn't know. And I think what really impressed me the most was that you spent many, many, many years having these insane, awesome adventures in Indonesia and all these different countries, Tonga, and like, I don't even remember where else, just doing what you love to do. And you figured out how to be you and create art and actually make a living out of it. And now, I don't know how old you are, but at your age, you've created a family. You've got a wife and two kids. So not only are you this world traveler, surfer, adventure guy, artist, but you're also a family man. So you remind me a lot of my Drew, where you can have it all.
Yeah, not at the same time, but yep.
Yeah. Well, you do have to take breaks when you have babies because babies are a hell of a lot of work.
Oh man, 5 and 5.5 and 3.5 now. It's wild, but I'm seeing the light. They're able to be alone and not kill each other anymore. So
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about your experience with galleries and retail stores because I have been for many, many, many years, I want to say 20 years, I've had a love-hate relationship with galleries and with retail stores because of the consignment aspect of it. And for those of you listening who don't know what consignment is, it's when a store or a gallery carries your products, whether it's artwork or whatever you make, but they don't pay you unless it sells. And so the upside to it is might be easier to get your stuff into a store. The downside is there is a lot of downsides to it. You might not get paid on time, your stuff gets damaged and you end up having to pay for it. There's just so many downsides to it. So, but let's start with the positive. Tell me about what is working currently with regards to places that you have your art on consignment.
Yeah, so I agree with everything you just said. There's definitely pros and cons to consignment and wholesale, but we finally are at a place where we have an easy wholesale ordering app on our website where our accounts can log in and just order everything wholesale, and we have our whole print system pretty figured out. We have our print partner up in Portland that does all our printing and framing and shipping, and So they deal with all that hands off. And that has really made it easier for us to just take orders, ship them to customers. But as far as consignment goes, I think earlier on in my career, I was doing a lot more consignment just because I didn't have all those systems in place yet, and it was just uh, it's hard for when you're starting out to get people to take a chance on you. They don't know if your stuff sells. I mean, art. I think art's a special category of consignment because art is just so objective. It's a hard thing to market, and especially when it's your own art. But I think what worked for me was starting consignment with local galleries and local shops, because you could go in there, you could deliver the stuff yourself, you didn't have to pay for shipping. You could talk to the people, you could see what was selling, because a lot of the times one of the problems is just keeping a handle on what's in inventory and who's got what, and it becomes a logistical nightmare to try to track all that. You got spreadsheets, and I mean, it's just trying to get a business owner. Yeah,
lose a lot of money
because
you lose product.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Or it gets damaged at the place, and then what do you do? I mean, it becomes a big headache. But our biggest gallery, they sell over $100,000 of our art a year, and they're still full consignment. And we started with them when it was local, when we lived up on the coast in Seaside, and it was easy to drop my art off. I could drop my originals off. I could bring them prints. I could we kind of grew together when I had that whole system, starting to grow that whole system and figure it out. And so they've just become a perfect match for consignment. I mean, they order a ton of prints, ton more prints than any wholesale account orders. And I think that's the double-edged sword. It's like the more art that people can walk into a shop and see, the more you're going to sell, as opposed to if a little shop only has 10 of your prints, and there's only 2 of them, and one they sell out and they don't have those anymore, and they're not going to place an order for another 2 months. But if it was all consignment, they might have ordered 20 of those prints, but then you're out of pocket the expense on all that stuff. So it's tricky. But I think being local and be able to go in there and save on shipping costs if that's the case, or just get a handle on things and be able to talk face to face is a lot more helpful. But we try to avoid any consignment now unless it's all my original artwork. Because I haven't really heard of any artists that are able to find galleries to buy their original art on wholesale. So that's still a consignment.
I did once. Nice. I was able to do that one time. It was a gallery in Hawaii, and they wanted Drew to paint a bunch of little like 9x12 originals. And I told them, I said, look, we're not going to do that on consignment. We'll do it if you'll buy them outright. And they said, okay. And I was like, really? I was surprised. And they bought them, and they sold out. Unfortunately, they didn't stay in business very long.
Oh, no.
So, let me ask you this. So when you do, so most of your consignment is original. So what's like the average sale of an original, the price of your average sale?
Several $1,000s. It's like an 18x24 piece is like $2,300 retail.
And is that on canvas or what is it?
It's on wood panel, and there's some sort of, we've been framing all our originals lately, so there's some sort of frame on there. But we pay for shipping, we pay for the frame. I mean, I work that into the price, but all our originals are, with every gallery, it's all 50-50.
50-50. So the gallery gets 50% when it sells.
Yep.
So, and then you get 50%.
Yep.
And do you have an arrangement with your galleries, like when they have to pay you? So let's say they sell it on May 15th. When do they owe you the money?
30 days after the sale,
And
within
how do
30
you,
days.
I know artists are thinking this, how do you know when they sold something?
That's you just have to try to trust people to tell you. My galleries are usually excited and they text me, "Hey, just sold this piece," and
Because they want you to send another one. Send
yeah,
us another
exactly,
one. We want a replacement. Yeah.
exactly. And I just I don't know. I know being a parent, and we just renovated our house. I just finished building a studio, and I haven't been able to paint a lot, and my galleries are on running on fumes. So it's like as soon as I finish one, I ship it off, and they've been selling like crazy. So that's a good thing.
No, that's
But
awesome. So you have, okay, so you have your original art and then you also have a bunch of products. So tell me name like your top three products that you sell.
um, canvas and paper prints for sure. Uh, we have a whole range. So we also, yeah, like you said, products. We have things that we just carry here, keep in stock in the studio. I have my assistant that comes in a couple of days a week, and he handles shipping and customer service and all that kind of stuff, which has been, I was always so against having help, and just I want to do everything myself and total control. And I fought it for as long as I could. And then I realized, man, I want a whole team. I could just be kicking so much ass with like 4 people working for me. But I don't know. I don't want to be a boss that much and manager. But um, we have hats, we have puzzles, we have a bunch of seasonal stuff we do every holiday season. We just order a lot of it, and we have to sell it throughout the year, and blankets and all kinds of stuff like that. That's just nice little things, that add-ons that we can sell throughout the year. But the bread and butter is canvas and paper prints.
Yeah.
We do, I mean, we have a range from $35 is our smallest paper print, just clear bagged with a backer board, and it goes all the way up to $1,200 canvas prints that are framed.
So we talked about galleries. So with the retail stores, you have stores that also carry your prints and they sell them.
Yeah, so we also, I mean, we have a few of the product note cards and a few other ceramic coaster sets that we do on wholesale, but it's mostly just our prints. And yeah, we have little mom and pop shops or little gift stores that do smaller orders of little paper prints, little easy stuff, little small canvas prints, or small. We have these little metal frame prints too that we only offer for wholesale accounts. But I think I told you in their text the other day, or I wrote it on your post on Instagram, was we've been having success with this wholesale retailer fair.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, retailers can go on and search products and find brands that they can order right through Fair. And we set up our account and put all our products on there, and got a lot of new accounts, like over like a couple dozen probably accounts that just started ordering stuff and became a top shop on there. And little orders, a few $100s here and there, and then some bigger orders that became bigger clients that carry our larger canvas prints now and make bigger orders. But it's always it's funny to see the difference between giving a consignment free for all, order whatever you want, and what people order when they actually have to pay half of it up front.
Yeah.
But Fair's good because they allow their buyers to pay. It's net 90, so they don't have to pay for 90 days, but we get paid immediately. So
what percentage does Fair get of your sale?
I think it depends. They have all these kind of special summer deals, and it fluctuates, but we've worked out it. We actually charge a higher wholesale price to compensate for that. I think it's like 10% or 15 or depends on if they're reorders, and they have all this stuff. It makes it worth it still.
So for the listeners who might not be familiar with like wholesale sales versus consignment sales, wholesale is when a retail store buys, they order your product, and they usually take the price that they paid and they double it. So you're typically going to charge them for a $20 item, you're going to sell it to them for $10. Is that typically how you do it?
Yeah. And it depends on the product cost, but I think that's kind of the formula you want to strive to reach there. I mean, you want to double your cost of whatever it is, and then retail price should be double that.
Yeah.
Which that's why you see a lot of companies just going direct to consumer. They only sell on their website.
Right.
They can cut down prices in half, literally.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to solve that problem right now where I'm starting to, sell framed canvas prints. I'm trying to get the framing price down because I can sell direct to someone. Let's say it's a $300 retail price and it costs me $150 framed. Just playing with the numbers here. But if I want to put these in a store, if I want a retail store to carry them, they're going to have to get it for, let's say, they're going to want it for $150 so they can retail it at $300, which means I need to be able to get it for $75.
Right.
So I'm like working that problem out right now.
Well, I mean, it's simple. It's whatever it costs you, double that. That's your wholesale price, and then double that again, and that's your retail price.
Yeah, but then if you get too far out there,
I know I'm really far out
you're
there.
not going to be able to sell it,
and we sell like crazy.
Well, that's because your art is so awesome.
Thanks.
People love it. People love your art. You're in Japan too, right? Are you in the Japanese market?
Yeah, a couple of the green room galleries had to close down during COVID, but we're in the Yokohama gallery. Green room gallery there. I have some originals over there still. That is actually a unique partnership because we allow them to do their own printing on our paper prints.
Yeah.
And so we're being very trusting with that process and sales, and which freaks me out, but
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You could go over there and audit them every now and again.
And that wouldn't be a bad trip.
No, that'd be an awesome trip. Yeah,
you'll just have to get like Japan a translator. Right.
You'll have to get a translator. That's the hardest thing for me doing business overseas is the language barrier.
Yeah.
So let's see. I have more questions here. So as far as like with the galleries that you do have work on consignment, you have several, right? How do you personally track that? Do you keep in touch with them, call them, check on them, or do you have somebody else do that for you?
Well, actually, we do have one more gallery that's, we have a couple accounts that are different setups. We have a gallery, Adelman Fine Art down in San Diego that I think all our prints are on consignment there as well. So here's the other part of what we do. We also offer drop shipping for all of our accounts in the galleries. So they basically, if somebody walks into a gallery, they see a big pelican print on the wall with a brown frame, but they want it in the black frame, the gallery can just place that order. They can log into their wholesale account, place that order, have it shipped straight to the customer, and they've already just paid the wholesale price. And then the customer has paid them the full retail price. So everybody's paid right away. And our print shop and framer ship it right to the customer. So that has worked out fantastic, having that option.
How did you figure out that system? Because that system is brilliant. It solves a lot of problems.
It solves a lot of problems. It's just having the Wholesale app on our website and having that in place and making sure we have a whole system for somebody signing up. If you're a retailer and you find my website, you can just go to the sign up for a Wholesale account on my site. We check it out, see if it works, see if there's not another shop or gallery that's too close. We try to keep our accounts like 50 miles away.
Yeah.
And then we set them up. I send them instructions on how to log in, how to place an order, a PDF. I have a whole PDF. I email them with little thumbnails of all our prints and just information about our prints, sales sheet kind of stuff. And then, just nudging them to place their first order. And I have that in the PDF. There's a whole sheet about the drop ship program we have. And I mean, when accounts take advantage of it and use it, even for stuff they have on the wall, if a customer wants that, usually they're traveling, they don't want to haul around a canvas print and ding it and have a chance to ruin it. So just ship me a brand new one.
Yeah.
They don't have to take it off their wall. They don't have a space. They don't have to move stuff around. They don't have to order another one, wait for it to ship. They can sell that same print off the wall 100 times that day.
Are you signing these prints?
Nope. They're all the signatures printed on there. It's all open edition.
Do you ever have people say, well, I want like a real signature?
I say, you got to buy an original.
Yeah.
I used to have a big Epson printer in my office, and I used to print all of our small paper prints, hand sign them, trim them, packet them. Like I can't, it got too much. It was just like,
you got two children.
Yeah. No.
Who has time for that anymore?
I can't do it anymore. I've outgrown that. That was a great problem. And I was so adamant about having my signature. We used to print on wood panels. We before we moved to the canvas, we had all our prints printed on top of the same wood panels I paint on. The company that makes my wood panels bought this $200,000 printer. They would prime the panels by hand, sand them, print right on them, clear coat them, sand the edges. They're all raw wood edges. They look beautiful. And I would have them shipped. Each order, I would have them shipped to my studio. I'd unbox them. I'd unwrap them. I'd sign them. I'd put wire on the back, put a sticker on the back, pack them back up, ship them. It was just like paying double shipping, signing everything.
Too much work.
It worked for a month, and then then it was no, I got to figure out a different system. And I was really thought my signature needed to be on every single thing because that was important to me, but it just was not scalable, and I had to just say, sorry, my originals are the only way you're going to get my real signature unless I do like a limited edition print run or something.
All right. Well, we've done with Drew, because we've had the same thing. The same issue, not being able to, because we don't do most of our shipping anymore. Now it's handled in Denver or Anaheim, California. So
and they print and ship everything.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a partner that handles all that for us now. It's the best thing we ever did, teaming up with this guy. His name's Corey. He's amazing. And it was such a blessing, because when Drew got sick 6 months ago, if I didn't have this business partner, like all our business would have stopped, because Drew was, he was dying for 8 weeks. He was on his deathbed, and I did not work for 4 months, almost 5 months.
Wow.
I finally just came back to work. And Drew really technically isn't back at work yet. So thank God we got this relationship with this guy almost a year. It's been a year now. And it was such a blessing to have him. And last summer, we also hired somebody to run our art gallery. And it's not just the gallery, she kind of does everything. She's like my right-hand gal.
Yeah.
And so thank God she was working for us when he got sick. Otherwise, I literally would have had to shut the business down. And I don't know what would have happened to
Yeah,
us. Like
yeah,
we would have lost everything. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Automated. He got automated. It saved
Yeah,
it.
and you've got it wired. Like I'm so impressed with what you've got set up. Like I could learn so much from you, and I just learned so much from you just in this conversation. It's really brilliant what you've done, and because the thing is this sales success in art requires volume of sales.
Yeah,
And not only do you have to get a volume of buyers, but you also have to be able to fulfill that in the most efficient way and the best way where you can provide quality as
yeah,
well. So having those systems in place does it. No,
yeah.
it's great
It's
what you've got
tough
going
though,
on.
letting go of that control. I mean, because
Yeah.
every time it's a rare. I think I think it's like 0.06%, like not even 1% of our thousands and thousands of prints that get shipped out have damage. But
Yeah.
each one is just like, oh God, I can't. The customer's mad.
Yeah.
It was something. There's a little scratch on it or something. Like, how does that get out of the print shop? Like, who allows this? It's like,
I
and
know.
then you look at the numbers and it's like, okay, really, it's not even like 1% of things that go out have a blemish on them. And it's like, put that in perspective a little bit, but it's just like such a personal thing with your own art. It's like you want it to be perfect and
Right.
everybody to be happy and all of it to work, but you've got to allow a little bit of room for error once in a while, and when you don't do everything yourself.
True. True. Because it's not everybody's, all the people that work for you are not going to do things perfectly,
Right.
but more things are going to get done.
So is this print partner you got, is he kind of manage that, or is it an actual guy that prints them and does it all?
So he does the printing in house and he manages it and he helps us with marketing. So so he helps us with special promotions. And
Wow,
so
that's
we
a good
have
gig.
skateboards coming out this week.
Nice.
So that was his idea. He came up with the idea. We decided on the art. He did all the work on putting, doing the graphic design and all that of the artwork. And he had the skate decks printed. I paid for all that, but he's like handling it all.
Nice. So like,
And
yeah, like an assistant and print manager. So
yeah,
is he just a one-man show on the
he
print, or does he
has
have
a
like a
couple
print shop?
employees. He has a
Oh,
couple
nice.
employees.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, he does work with other artists as well. So, he's like my dream come true because I've been wanting a guy like that
Yeah.
for years. And
Sounds amazing.
he's awesome. And he's like a really good friend. And he's 30 years old, but he's like a son to me because I am old enough to be his mother. Um, and he is very much like family to us.
Good.
So when Drew got sick, he flew out here 3 different times
Wow.
and spent weeks helping me, like just helping my assistant Christine do things that Drew and I normally would do, but we weren't here.
Wow.
So
Yeah, those are the business partners you want to have.
yeah, he's a great guy, and a friend. And I've seen other people have business partners for 20, 30, 40 years that are like family to them. And that's really what I want with all
Yeah.
the people that I work with. I
Good.
want that. And I'm sort of making it happen. You have the vision and then takes time, but you
Yeah.
start creating it.
Manifest it.
Yeah, because like my work is my life.
Mm-hmm.
I love my work. I would work 7 days a week, 15 hours a day if I could, if it wasn't so unhealthy,
So
but I
would
would
I.
because I love it.
Yeah. So would
I make
I.
myself do other stuff though. I'm like, okay, I work too much. So because my work's my life, I want the people I work with to be like my family
Yeah.
because I'm spending a lot of time with them. So let's see. I have other questions for you, and we might have covered them all. They're just kind of like because we were sort of going on and on. Oh, here. Okay. So the last thing I want to ask you about
this
is
thing's getting out of control. Holy moly.
you need a shave
geez.
and you need like one of those like, well, I like the salt and pepper thing you got going on with your beard.
That's my first kid. That's my second kid.
That's awesome. So red flags when you are working with a new retailer. Now, I know you don't do consignment with retailers, but just going back to the days when you did, back in the olden days, for our listeners.
Well, are you saying retailers like a
retailers?
Gallery's retailer, right?
Well, like let's say one of our an artist I'm working with right now, he has greeting cards and art prints that he's putting into a retail store, and they will only do consignment. Whoa. And so his work isn't anywhere right now. So this is his first chance at getting it in a store, right? Because he works out of his home.
Yeah, go for it, man.
And so what are some red flags to just kind of keep an eye on, or ways to...
That seems like a red flag. I mean, especially when it's little, postcard stuff and little things that normal retailers normally buy wholesale. Mm-hmm. That seems like something that should just be wholesale. I get it on the, prints and fine art and originals. That's, that could go either way, but little stuff like that. Red flags. I mean,
are ways to make it work better, like things to avoid.
I probably shouldn't talk about this because I'm still in a place that does this, that I've announced to them that we're moving on from. But I would say, as far as originals or prints, if they don't really want you to display the retail price on your site or on your social media, I'd say that is a red flag. Or you might want to question
they've told
why.
You they don't want you to post the retail price because why?
That's a good question. To maybe give them more flexibility on their end for discounts and
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, pricing and discounts. So should you set the price? Of course you should, but I want to get your opinion on that. Like, so let's say you're putting, a bunch of 8x10 prints in a store, and you sell them online for $50 each. Are you going to require that they sell them for $50 each?
Yeah. We recommend it's the MSRP, right? The manufacturer's suggested retail price of this much. I mean, you can do what you want, but I wouldn't want to piss off customers that bought something for more than they could go to my website and buy it for. Like, that's on the retailer, and I would happily, if a customer reached out to me and was mad about them just buying a print for more money at a gallery than they saw it for on my website, I mean, I would definitely have a talk with the gallery, and then I would apologize and try to make it right somehow.
Yeah.
But that's not happened.
Yeah.
So I think you definitely be upfront about that with potential retailers, is that, hey, I have these products also on my site for this much money, so you should probably keep it at that retail price. But if you didn't have it for sale, I don't know.
So what about discounts? Like, you have art in galleries, and what if the gallery wants to offer it at a 10% discount to a special customer?
Depends on the gallery and the relationship we have, but a lot of times they'll just eat whatever discount. I mean, since we paid for shipping of all our originals. So that's already, and the cost of the panel and all that. So we're already, our costs on originals is, and shipping to Hawaii, which we ship a lot to. Holy crap. That's like
really
it
expensive.
just gouges you. Whew. But usually a 10%, a gallery will eat that, or if it's even more, if the customer wants to buy like 3 paintings and they want a 15% or 20% discount, maybe we'll split it with them. We'll split that discount. But another thing on discounts, because we have sales throughout the year, and a big one around the holidays, and we have to coordinate with all of our accounts. I have a wholesale and gallery newsletter list that I send out with any new prints that we're releasing. Like, here's a link to all the images to put them in, because we have a couple accounts that have all my prints in their online shop too. And that's just a simple drop ship program where if they get an order through their website, they just go on to their wholesale account and place a drop ship order.
Yeah.
But we have to, make sure we coordinate, like, hey, we're offering 20% off all canvas prints for the next 2 weeks starting here. If you want to participate, that would be great. How do we work that? It gets kind of complicated on how we actually work that with prints that they already have bought in store.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to eat 20% more off their cost if they sell those off the wall? And
right.
It gets a little confusing, and we've done it several years now, and I'm still confused. I forget kind of how we totally did it. My wife always figures it out. We always reinvent the wheel every time we do it. Like,
I know.
Did you do it last year? I totally forgot how we did it last year. I don't know. All right, this will work.
So, well, this has been so enlightening. I feel like I have a million more questions for you.
Do it.
So we're going to have to do this another time. But I would love to get together with you and like compare systems. Yeah. And the one thing that you have really done well, besides creating art that people love, is creating systems so that you're not doing everything, so that you have been able to grow.
Yeah.
You've been able to scale your business. I mean, you have one art gallery that sells $100,000 worth of your art every year. That's incredible. That's incredible. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
And like, you've hit on,
and our online sales dwarf that.
That's amazing. Good for you. I'm so happy for you.
And I will attribute it to like doing Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and we just started doing Google stuff. But those work. It's pay to play, and the more you pay, the more you get to play.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't mastered those ads yet. I've played around with them a little bit.
My wife Nellie was doing it all herself, and she had it pretty good. She had a pretty good ROI on our Instagram ads and Facebook ads. And then she was looking at other companies that manage that and what their programs are. They have all the funnels, they've got all of it figured out. They know exactly all the algorithms. And we started working with Snappic, and things went through the roof when we handed it over to them. And they still work. Nellie works close with them. They figure out campaigns and different things, and they've been great. But highly recommend dabbling with ads on all social media.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go again. We were doing ads, and then we stopped when Drew got sick, and we just kind of stopped what we weren't totally paying attention to. And
man,
I do need to pick that back up again.
It's something you got to stay on top of too. You can't just sit back and hope that they are making it work for you.
So what's new for you this summer? What's going on?
Oh man. Massive projects coming. I cannot wait to
name one. What's the one you're most excited about?
The artwork for the WSL Rip Curl Finals in San Clemente. I'm going to be in your hood in September.
You are? Well, you
Yeah.
damn well better come spend time with me.
Yeah.
We should do a show for you in my gallery.
Should we do that? We're,
If
you
you
know what?
want.
We are just
If
right
you
in the middle
want.
of talking about the activation for that with Rip Curl and WSL and figuring out what we're going to do down there.
Well, just, maybe they'll do something for you in a bigger, better space. My gallery is only 1,600 square feet. It's pretty small. I do have a parking lot.
That's great. That's a great size.
Well, it is, but some of that is offices.
True stuff. Yeah.
Well, some of it's offices, and so it's nice. It's a nice gallery. I have a parking lot, which almost nobody has, and I'm downtown.
You could kind of have like an outdoor thing going in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, totally outdoor thing. We could do outdoor, indoors, so both. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Ooh. But yeah, think about it. Think about it. Yeah. Just give me 2 months notice if you decide you want to do something. Give me a couple months to prepare.
Yeah, we got to figure it out like ASAP.
Okay, that'd be really cool.
Let's talk about that. But that's a massive project right there. That's going to be amazing.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome. And September is the best month to be in San Clemente.
I know. I can't wait.
Because the weather's good and the waves are big.
I know. Excited.
And the tourists are gone.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the ones that come for the contest.
Right. And it's only a 1-day comp now. I mean, it's a 7-day waiting period and a 1-day thing. But yeah, looking forward to that. And Friday, I'm flying up to Portland to go walk through a giant brand new grocery store, New Seasons grocery store that I'm doing full vinyl wrap wall murals for the whole store. So that's going to be great.
That's awesome. I hope you'll be posting pictures of that. I'm sure you will.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see it. Well, thank you so much for being so giving with your information, so generous. A lot of artists are not that generous with their secrets. I feel like you shared a lot, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I think you've been way more giving than I have over the years. You've got all kinds of insight. I mean, you wrote a book about it, gave it to everybody. So I got mine right here.
Oh, thank you.
Woo!
Thank you. Art, money, success.
Gave my assistant. I had 2 copies. Somebody gave me a copy too, or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, good.
You might have sent me a couple. I don't know. But yeah, stoked on that and your generosity. But I always appreciate when other artists share information, and I'm pretty open about like money, and I just remember hearing numbers of what certain artists made, or like how much they made that year. I was like, oh, that's possible. Oh, right. Like I feel like it's motivation, and there's plenty of room for everybody to be making art and be collecting art. So it's not like you need to be secretive about how you're doing things. I mean,
right. And not everybody's going to do it anyway. Like, people always want to know, but then when you tell them how to do it, they're like, oh, that's too much work.
It's so much work, Maria. Like,
that's too hard.
They
don't do it.
I'm a workaholic, and I stay up way too late. I don't get enough sleep. I wake up too early. I'm exhausted all the time. I don't get to paint enough. There's all emails still got to be taken care of. It's just like, whew, it's nuts.
Oh, sounds like you need to let some more of that stuff go.
I know.
Delegate more.
It's summertime. I'm about to just lay around in my shorts and water my garden and sit in the river.
That sounds like fun. Well, thank you so much. And where can people find you online if they want to check you out?
Abel Arts, ABELARTS.com is my main site. Instagram, I'm most active on @Abel Arts. I just started my Twitter account again. I'm hoping to dive into the NFT world. I've got so many feelings about that, Maria. But
the NFT thing.
Oh man,
That's another
That's a
conversation
whole
for
nother
another
conversation.
day.
That's a whole
For
nother
another
one.
day. I know we're deep into that right now, and it's like,
Yeah. But yeah, I'm online and I'm on Instagram, and that's where you can find me.
Well, I recommend everybody check Erik out online, and I'll put links in the description of this session, this podcast. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. And please leave a comment, subscribe, whatever platform you're listening on. Give us a little love, and have an awesome day, everybody. See you next time.
Bye, guys.